Welcome. Great to see all of you. Today we have David Siroki, who leads our AI, data analytics, and HPC business for Asia Pacific. Welcome, David. Since our customers, David, requirements have been changing on a daily basis, I felt innovation is key to every technology company. So maybe I thought we'll kick off with giving us an update as what Dell Technologies' recent announcements.
It's great to be here, Richard, and I'd love to give you an update on the Q3 earnings highlights. I'm a technologist, so I don't tend to dive into the financial results, but there were a couple of things that are worth highlighting from a technology perspective. The first one is we announced 30 different product releases, 30 new products that we announced during the 13 weeks of the quarter. They were new solutions, things like introducing PowerFlex on AWS, which we've tested internally to over 10 million IOPS of delivering incredible scaling, new validated designs for Red Hat OpenShift, as well as bringing some of our CyberSense security technologies, Cyber Vault Recovery, to GCP and AWS. A tremendous amount of innovation, and I think customers are voting with that wallet, voting for us with their wallets, and you're seeing that translate to the market share results you see on screen, where we expect to take additional share in all of the key data center categories that we compete in. And then the other thing that I noticed in our earnings result is we were able to secure some supply agreements on equipment, and a lot of our earnings backlog dissipated, resulting in a record quarter. What that really means is that equipment the customers ordered that they were having challenges getting delivered during the COVID supply chain disruptions has eased up, and we're able to ship equipment to customers a lot faster. So if you're still running into challenges getting a hold of data center equipment, Dell Technologies can certainly help you in that space.
That's a very, very important point in today's, world where people are looking for hardware where we can deliver quickly. So thank you for that. In my conversations with CIOs and customers, are looking for more an easy, simplified approach to manage these new workloads. What is Dell doing to support our customers?
Hey, so the big thing we've been working on is really simplifying and accelerating workloads through something that we call our Dell validated designs. And that's because as we talk to customers, we realize that they're looking for simplicity. They're looking for faster time to value. They want to know that the solution will get stood up and will work. And they're also looking for being able to take the risk out of it, to simplify it and make it easy. So this happens in particular with some of the newer workloads where we see organizations bringing workloads on premises. They may not have run a data analytics and AI workload on premises before, but may be looking to do so as part of their cloud containment cost initiative, which we are hearing many of our customers are starting to implement as they get concerned about the macroeconomic environment out there. So we've implemented a range of these. You can find them all on the website. We have specialists that are able to guide customers through solutions in the analytics space, in the HPC space, in the business application space. And these validated designs take the risk out of running these solutions. They give you the implementation guidance required to get them up and running, and they really dramatically speed the time to value in these workload solutions.
Any chance you can share an example?
Yeah, so Richard, one of the biggest examples I think about is our customers that run SAP. SAP is a business critical applications for many organizations running their supply chain. And to ensure that SAP runs reliably, SAP has set up a joint co-development lab in Waldorf, Germany. And this is a place where the Dell engineers can sit side by side with the SAP engineers and test and validate our products to make sure that when we bring them to market, we bring together an SAP HANA appliance or a TDI certified solution, customers can feel confident that that solution is going to work reliably. And Dell is the only vendor with an end-to-end portfolio spanning servers, storage, and data protection, including being able to protect SAP workloads that are running up in the cloud and in various hyperscalers. Over the past year, we've announced a couple of new offerings. The first one is a joint program with SAP called Rise with SAP that brings the cloud operating model to customers by giving them a fully managed SAP service. So in that particular example, what a customer can do is have Dell deliver equipment to a customer's data center or co-location provider of choice. We'll configure all of the Dell infrastructure, and then SAP will install and run and manage the SAP platform on top of that. And that will be delivered as a fully managed service, bringing the cloud operating model to the customer. The other announcement we made just a week ago was our new larger scale servers, so the 8 socket servers going all the way up to 16 socket servers, so that we can meet the needs of even the very largest SAP customers.
Very, very interesting. What about customers running other platforms like Oracle?
Yeah, so a lot of customers also run on Oracle, and Oracle's been a market share leader in the database segment for a while, but they've also made quite a few acquisitions over time. And some of these acquisitions or products are getting a little bit old, right? So, Spark servers, I think the industry has pretty much concluded that x86 is the way to go, and Intel and AMD have been producing some great servers in that space. Solaris, while popular a long time ago, most of the industry is moving towards Linux. There's also other products like the big data appliance that Oracle used to have that mixed some Cloudera together with some databases. Other products like Exalogic, and also the aging Oracle HSM platform. These are all areas where Dell's got modern solutions that can help Oracle customers modernize. And the other thing we hear from Oracle customers is that while they love their Oracle for their core applications, a lot of the times it's a multi-database world, just like it's a multi-cloud world, and they're wanting to run their Oracle side by side with perhaps some SQL Server or Postgres or MongoDB. So the concept of having purpose-built appliances like Exadata that can only support one database is giving way towards having platforms that can support consolidation of databases and running multiple database workloads on a common platform to help simplify a customer's environment and reduce cost. The last example I've got in this space that I think is really important is Intel's been doing a lot of innovation around CPUs that are specifically optimized to help customers with licensing problems. So they've got these CPUs that are very, very high frequency but low core count. And through smart usage of these CPUs, you could potentially dramatically reduce your Oracle licensing cost by modernizing away from older CPUs, which had many, many cores, to faster CPUs with a smaller number of cores. And that can result in dramatic cost savings for our customers too.
Very interesting. To change gear a little bit, what is your point of view about the future of modern application development, and how is Dell helping to simplify this demand?
Hey, Richard, I think that with modern application development, customers are increasingly moving towards containers and Kubernetes. And this is pretty much given these days. Organizations no longer want to deal with Patch Tuesday and having to log on to every single VM and apply security patches. So where they're able to build new applications that are based in containers, it dramatically simplifies the code maintenance associated with operating system level patches, and also taking advantage of things like local container repositories to have master images of common containers that can be reused. Can dramatically simplify the number of images that need to be maintained and patched by IT. So that's been a big win. The challenge is, in order to implement containers and Kubernetes, organizations that have been deploying VMs for the past 20 years need to deploy more modern platforms that are able to support containers and Kubernetes. In the VMware space, we feel we did an outstanding job making that easy for customers through our VxRail product by first making it easier to hyper-converged vSAN technology and a purpose-built appliance that has lifecycle patching and management. And later we expanded that to automatically deploy VMware Cloud Foundation to give you the container and Kubernetes platform. But we also recognize that not everyone is a VMware customer. Some organizations choose to deploy Amazon EKS, or they choose to deploy Google Anthos. Here in APJ, Red Hat OpenShift is very popular. So one of the recent announcements is our Dell validated design for Red Hat OpenShift. Imagine what we could do for our customers by taking the same co-engineering approach we took with VxRail and applied it to the Red Hat technology platform to be able to make it just as easy to deploy OpenShift and container-based platforms for organizations that prefer the Red Hat flavor. And we've been also investing on taking that into the cloud with hyperscalers. So some of the core storage technology like PowerFlex, we've now released in AWS. And we've tested that up to upwards of 10 million IOPS. So we really believe we're going to be able to dramatically simplify the container and Kubernetes deployment on Dell hardware.
Okay. And how is Dell innovating in data management? That is something, which is quite on everyone's mind, and data lakes as well.
Yeah, so Richard, I guess the next thing for customers after they've got their containers and Kubernetes platforms in place is recognizing that modern cloud-native applications are often built quite differently. Traditional databases relied on block storage when they were running things like Oracle and SAP, but as you're building new applications, we're seeing a tremendous explosion in unstructured data. Organizations that are bringing in video analytics feeds or pictures off a production line that they want to inspect for defects, or it may be medical imagery or x-rays or MRIs or audio files that are bringing back vibration data, listening to pumps and wind turbines. So we're seeing a lot more unstructured data needing to be analyzed and processed. And for that, organizations are really looking for platforms that support these new unstructured data types. And I think the big innovation here a few years ago, maybe 10 plus years ago, was Hadoop, the concept of a schema on read database, where instead of having to define all of the tables and columns of the data that you wanted to store, you could take the data and just throw it into one big data lake. So we saw the explosion of data lakes. What we're seeing more recently is the blending of both worlds, taking the traditional data warehouse and taking the traditional data lake into something we're calling a lake house. And you see this lake house concept being picked up by not just Dell, but other vendors as well, as being able to deliver to customers the best of the data warehouse environment together with the fast speed and flexibility associated with the data lake environment. And that lets us do some pretty innovative things. We can bring in data off a file share that was a video camera that was storing the data into the data lake. We can then access that data over HDFS if we're running, say, Cloudera-based data analytics against it. Or if we've got a data science team that's running machine learning workloads, they're able to access that same data using very, very high-speed GPU direct over RDMA. So by having this data lakehouse with multi-protocol support, being able to use CIFS, NFS, SMB, HDFS, it really gives organizations the best of both worlds: access to time series data, access to be able to do very, very fast AI and machine learning, and also be able to have the first-class storage that supports things like S3 buckets for modern application development. So please take a look at our PowerScale and ECS portfolio. There's some terrific capability there to be able to support these data lakehouses.
Very interesting. So what would be, a key takeaway for our customers?
Well, I think, Richard, it's very certain that there's an uncertain macroeconomic environment out there. Whether you believe there's a recession coming or whether you want to double down and increase profitability and efficiency, we're hearing all of our customers are looking to simplify and accelerate their various workload solutions. And we'd encourage you to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help share with you some of these solutions that we've talked about today. They can take you through the detailed design guides, implementation guides, and help you with your cloud journey, regardless of where you are on the phase of that journey, in order to simplify and accelerate your progress.
Thank you, David. That's been very, very insightful and very interesting. Customers, thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you again and speaking to you back again through our account teams.